Start.
And we are live.
Awesome.
Yeah. This is Mitch Taylor. Hi.
Hi, I'm Vickie Musni.
And we are talking today about
Creating connections.
creating connections. This is the very first podcast for creating connections. And Vickie is a certified personality trainer. And your company that you have for personality training you trained through was Wired That Way, right?
Yes, I trained. The organization is called Class.
Okay.
Class seminars, and but the test they use is called Wired That Way.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can you tell us a little more about that?
Yeah, basically, well, personality studies has been around for so long, literally, thousands and thousands of years. But as many as I've taken, the Wired That Way one was the one that to me seemed the most simple to understand and the easiest to start applying to real life. So that's why I went and pursued additional training with that particular organization and ended up getting a certification through them. It's just so I would be better prepared to help share what I was learning and how I'm applying this to my life with others.
Awesome.
At my heart, I'm a teacher. I used to be a high school teacher in my past life before children, and I think in my heart I really still am. And this is just the way that I get to express that now.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
So this
You've
is
got a training too, though, a certification that you just did.
Yes, I do. I went through Jeffrey Gitomer's Gitomer Certified Advisor training, and that was a full, solid 3 days in Charlotte, North Carolina, training with Jeffrey Gitomer himself. And I took a private training the next day where actually Jeffrey Gitomer made me pancakes. I know.
I didn't even know that. Now I'm really jealous.
Yeah.
Wow.
True story. We're in his loft. He's flipping pancakes and making pancakes in a true Jeffrey fashion. If you follow Jeffrey Gitomer at all, can be very brash, can be very abrupt. He's getting
no wonder you two get along so well.
Not very politically correct in his old age, if you will. And he made a comment about, "Oh, we have milk and we have sugar. If you want any of that foo-foo crap, then you can just deal with it." Something to that effect.
Nice.
So it was awesome training, a great experience, and I learned a ton and took out of that. And now as a Gitomer Certified Advisor, I'm able to help coach others through Gitomer VT, the interactive virtual training modules that Jeffrey Gitomer has, which basically consists of someone comes to me and says, "I need help in sales, and I want to help with how do I set the appointment? How do I get an appointment? Or how do I add or show value better? Or how do I close the sale?" I can go through all of Gitomer's online virtual portals and say, okay, this lesson, this lesson, this lesson, this lesson, send it out to them, and then I'm giving anyone who signs up a free 20-minute coaching call.
Nice.
Shameless plug. But really, this podcast has come about, we kind of gave our backgrounds here. The podcast has come about because we want to give back to you. And Vickie and I have known each other for a few years now, and we always connected on a level of sales, on a level of personalities, on a level of communicating and creating those connections. Podcast title. And so from that standpoint, that's kind of how this was just born, this podcast. So we want to be able to give back to you. We want to be able to help you improve in sales. And we're happy to take questions. If you have questions on sales, you can email Vickie at Vickie Musni. Did I get that right?
Close.
See, I'm always butchering her last
keep
name.
Practicing.
I don't know what it is. Or Vickie at VickieMusni.com or Mitch at MitchTaylor.net. I couldn't get the .com.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Your name's slightly more common than mine, probably.
Slightly. And easier to pronounce as well.
Only Vickie Musni on Facebook too, so
Musni.
you can always
See, I got it.
there.
Musni.
That was closer.
It's like moose. Like
no,
Marty Moose. No, it's not.
Musni.
Musni.
That was it. You got it that time.
Musni. I got it.
Yes.
See, I got her name right.
We should have like a phone-in contest. Never mind. People can say my name right.
So,
all right, focus.
Yes. We're bringing it back.
Yes.
So in regards to the podcast, we're going to be exploring sales questions. We're going to be exploring how do you connect with the personalities that you come in contact with How can you be a better facilitator of those connections? Because, and I think you find this as well in your business. Vickie operates a videography and entertainment company out of Reno, Nevada.
Nevada.
It's Nevada.
No.
It's like, is that like Musni and Musni? Right? It's kind of close. And the company, your name of your company is?
Ever After Creations.
Ever After Creations. And I own and operate Tailored Weddings out of Escanaba, Michigan. And then my sales company is Sales is Solutions. And what was I just talking about?
Why we were doing this.
Oh, well, it's to give back.
Yeah, to give back, to share. And I think we've noticed, and part of that connection that we've always had, is that our messages that we've already been sharing with people prior to us starting this, they overlap, they mesh so well. Whether you're selling a product or an idea, or even as a business owner, when you're selling your image and your company and your services that are a little not as tangible, you're interacting with people, and both clients and colleagues.
Yeah.
And how personalities fits into that whole piece is important, because it's not just gimmicky sales.
No.
And that's I think why we connected.
Yeah.
Is it's not about, just if you say this and use this line, you'll have this result, and it works every time, I guarantee it. It's not
absolutely
cheesy and ridiculous. You're real. You're about getting to know your client, understanding what they really need and what they value.
It has to be about real. It has to be about connecting with your client, because the old school sales tactics of if you say this, they say this, you say this,
it's fake and forced, and
it doesn't work. And here's the other thing. Nothing works all the time. This is something covered in Gitomer Certified Advisor as well.
Because people have different personalities.
Exactly, because people have different personalities. And while I may be a red, yes I am, Vickie is a yellow.
I'm half yellow,
half red. Yes, I know.
Depends on my mood.
Well. Yes, so that's why we connect, because I'm red and she has some red in her as well as some yellow, and you're like, what in the hell? Mm-hmm. Why are you talking about these colors? What do they mean? Well, if you're looking to understand the colors, it's a very easy way. There are other systems that teach, for example, DISC, and there are others as well.
There's lots of them. There's lots of good ones.
Yeah.
I just like this one best.
Wired That Way is really easy because it takes the personalities and ties them to a color.
Well, and I have to make a disclaimer, because if anybody goes out and Googles Wired That Way or goes and buys their test, they're not going to hear just colors. The Wired That Way system uses Greek-based terms.
Okay.
So you'll hear sanguine, melancholy, choleric, and phlegmatic, which are all rooted in the Greek.
Speaking of which, I'm watching my choleric intake this week too.
Yeah, that's not the same thing.
Oh, it's not the same thing?
But I have noticed that most of the audience that I speak to don't really have an interest in learning Greek. So in order to not have to introduce a whole new set of complicated vocabulary, we just talk about things in corresponding colors.
So the color thing is
because most people know the colors.
You started the color thing.
Yes, I mean, I've started calling them by the colors.
Okay.
Yeah, like if you take the test, and you see sanguine, it's usually on a yellow box.
Got it.
So, and if you see the word,
and
if you see phlegmatic, it's on a green. So, but that just has weird connotations sometimes, or melancholy especially is the blue.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean, the melancholy doesn't mean what we think it means. It doesn't mean they're sad. It's more of an introspective personality trait. Yeah. And well, serene's really more the green. Okay. Which has nothing to do with phlegm, which is what the phlegmatic sounds
really
like.
Weird.
And so that's why I've dropped the Greek terms and just switched to the colors. So.
And what this does, if you read Vickie's book, Personalities for Business, available at VickieMusni.com.
Thanks for that.
Shameless plug. If you read the book, which I don't know who the idiot was who wrote the foreword, but anyway, read the book and then you'll get some great information out of it in regards to how to connect your personality. And you know as a person who your personality is after taking the test, right? Then you're able to figure out, okay.
You don't even have to take the test.
How do I need to approach this? Well, I think it's a good idea.
It is, but part of my premise when I teach, and even when I write, is that there's so many situations where you can't give someone a test.
True.
You can't walk up to
Absolutely,
a client and
no,
say,
absolutely.
I'm really having a hard time understanding
Right.
you. Would you please take
And you
this
say
40
that in
question
the
test?
book.
I do.
But I'm talking about
And,
them themselves.
So yeah, if you want
taking
it for
the test.
yourself, but most people within that first chapter, you
have an
gravitate
idea.
towards one or two, and you can usually say, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. That is something I connect with. That's what I relate to.
Absolutely.
And then you can take a little sticker and, wear it and be that color. And never mind.
Or a tie.
Yeah.
She sells ties on her website
And
as
buttons.
well. Buttons.
And soon t-shirts.
Wow.
Yeah.
You
Very
heard
soon.
it here first.
That's right.
Breaking news. T-shirts available.
Coming soon.
Coming soon to a website near you.
There we go.
So, tell me something about the sales process that you've learned that maybe our listeners, our viewers don't know.
I think for me, the thing that I come back to is that the sale process starts as even before I have that first interaction.
Yeah.
It's about me getting in the right mindset and about me reminding myself and my personality that I can't just jump in there and start talking and being who I am if that's not what my client needs or my potential client. So getting as much background information as I can before, and if not, just kind of reminding myself, because I do have that loud, big, overpowering, sometimes personality, that I need to at least be neutral until I find out, where my client falls on the quadrants, and then I can adapt my conversation to meet their needs better. Sometimes we have a situation where I've got some information ahead of time. Maybe they've sent me an email or a Facebook message. If I can connect on Facebook or at least see, their public, pictures and stuff, profile and stuff, then I can usually go, okay, hey, yeah, I see up this picture and I can tell that this person's a yellow, so I'm okay to be me. But if everything's locked down and there's no information, it could just, it could mean they just don't like Facebook, but it could mean that they're a blue. Yeah. And blues take a lot longer to want to share information. And so if I can't find anything, I think I kind of just automatically have to assume they could be a blue. And for me, that's the complete opposite of my personality type.
Right.
I have, no blue. When I take that test he was talking about, a 0. And it's just, it's not who I am naturally.
So you find it's harder for you to connect with them?
Not necessarily, but I do have to take that pre-sales step of putting myself in that mindset, saying, to myself, tone it down, don't talk too fast, don't talk too much, give them their space,
Got it.
Handshake, not hug, and,
Yes, absolutely. And so these things that Vickie's talking about is what we also talk about in Sales to Solutions workshop in regards to researching your client. And to me, that's the very first step in the sales cycle, and which a lot of people miss. They miss this step because they're too busy thinking, set the appointment and I'm going to walk in and I got my PowerPoint presentation, or I got my videos on Apple TV or whatever it might be that you're showing, demo video, whatever the case is. And yet they're Googling you. Why shouldn't you Google them? And you have this background of information now to draw from. Yep. If you've read Vickie's book, if you've understood the personalities that are in play, know whom before you speak. And this way you're able to actually have a better connection with them as people. You have to start friendly. And if you don't start friendly,
and you have to start
you can
aware.
Lose the whole sale.
You have to just start aware. Because sometimes we don't have much information available, and you end up with a cold call on a phone call. And then it's a matter of listening to tone of voice, keywords, types of questions they're asking. You don't have as much to go on, so you have to be listening harder than usual.
Yeah.
You have to really be in the moment.
And understanding what she says and doesn't say, I think is important. For example, I'm going to put this into my Sales and Solutions workshop coming up on Monday. But I literally just got a Facebook message from this bride. I don't think we even talked about this. I got a Facebook message from this bride who saw us on a board, a UP Wedding Decorations Facebook group with 1,000 members, and a couple people recommended our company, and there's a couple other companies recommended too. And she goes, hey, I'm looking to get a quote for my wedding. I just want a DJ and music for 4 hours. Okay? So my first response as a red is, oh, you don't know what you need, and you should be hiring a master of ceremonies, and we need to meet.
And I know what you need better than you do.
Yes, exactly. That's the red in me.
Reds.
I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. But I took a step back, and I messaged her and said, to me, if I get the price question up front the very first time, I'll avoid it. Try to get her off price talking about anything else but price. So we go ahead and then
is if you talk about price, it's not that you're trying to hide your prices.
No.
It's that you don't really know that you're comparing the same thing.
Right, and I told her, I said, we can customize our offerings to meet your needs. When's good for us to get together? Always go for the appointment right away, the very first contact.
Face to face is always best.
Absolutely. And so then she messaged me back saying, well, right now I just need a DJ, and I'm looking for music, and can I get a quote? So now she's asked for price twice, okay? So if a bride asks for price twice, now I give her a starting point and say, we have packages starting at X. We really need to be able to meet with you and find out what you need and go from there. Hang on a second. Let me just talk to the camera. I'm going to pull this actually up.
Okay.
I want to quote it.
Good. Hey, when we're talking about FaceTime, we should always also talk about the fact that we won't always be sitting on the same couch when we do this podcast.
No, we won't, because we're in Vegas right now for Mobile Beat Las Vegas.
Yeah, and thought it'd be a fun time to record the first podcast.
Absolutely. So
most of the time you'll be seeing us in split screen.
Yeah. So I want to give you the actual gist of this whole conversation so we have it. And so this bride, her name is Holly, and the conversation went like this. Good morning. I was hoping you could send me information on your wedding prices, packages, when you get a chance. Thank you. And my response to Holly was, hi Holly, thanks for reaching out. We customize all of our offerings to match your needs after chatting with you. When's good for us to get together to talk more? Looking forward to hearing from you soon. And then she responded back, right now I'm just looking for a DJ. Just. Oh, that drives me nuts.
I do like that you said chatting, though. That I wanted to interject that. It's like one of my favorite phrases that I used to, because it sounds comfortable and casual and friendly and low-key.
Because you're making a connection.
So I really like that.
This isn't about, well, I'd like to schedule a consultation.
Yeah,
no,
or an appointment, because it
doctor.
makes you think of, the dentist is what I was going to say, but okay.
So, right now I am just looking for a DJ. Nails on chalkboard for the red. I live in Iron Mountain, but I'm looking to get a quote on music. Another nails on chalkboard for the red. Just a DJ, just music, okay? My wedding isn't until June of 2016. Okay, so these are all like typically red flags for me.
A different red than what we were talking about.
I stepped back. I didn't respond right away. Most reds would respond right away.
Yes.
And so I took a step back.
It takes training.
And I messaged her back and I said, hi Holly, we are currently booking receptions into September of 2016. In other words, you're not too early. Do you want music or a fun, memorable reception? We have options starting at blank and going up from there. Would you like to know more about what you get for your money? That was it. That's all I said to her. She responded back, thank you for getting back to me. Smiley face. Exclamation point, smiley face. My reception will be at the community center in Felch. I definitely want updated music. A lot of my friends like to dance to club music at the Vera bar, but I also don't want it to be trashy. Do you know what I mean? Question mark, exclamation point. Yes, I would like to hear more, exclamation point. Okay, so now I've got her on a positive spin.
Yep, and you've got the connections, and you're seeing a little bit more of a glimpse into her personality.
Yes.
Because you only got the red side first, and she sounds a lot like me. And then, the inserting of the smiley faces and the exclamation marks, you're like, okay, we can make this into a fun conversation where we're starting to connect.
I responded back to her, hi Holly, we definitely can provide that music style with beat mixing and other ideas to personalize your event. Hiring a true master of ceremonies versus a bar DJ will ensure your wedding is not trashy. I would certainly encourage you to meet with whomever you are handing a live microphone to in front of all your friends and family. When's good for us to meet? I go back to ask for the appointments. Yes, good idea. It is best for me to meet between March 9th and March 15th. Do any of those days work for you?
There we go. Well done.
Yes, or afternoons or evenings better for you. Either one works just as well. If my fiance is going to meet with us, he is not done with work until 2:30 Iron Mountain time, and then it's an hour travel for us to get there. Otherwise, I can come during the day by myself. Which one do you think I'm going to respond back to her and ask?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take the afternoon appointment because I want both decision makers present.
Yes.
So there you have it.
Yep.
Taking a bride from a standpoint of, I want wedding prices and packages.
And was this a text or a Facebook conversation?
This is all Facebook conversation.
So you do have access to at least her public profile.
Yes.
So you can see her picture.
Yep.
You can see
and
his page, maybe?
Yes. So here's an ironic thing about this, the fact that I can see her picture. I don't want to sit here and go through a lot of it, but if you look on her Facebook page,
camera, but I can look.
Her Facebook page is of a darling little girl. So what does that tell you? That gives you insight into her personality as well, right?
Yeah, those are very yellow pictures.
Yes.
I called it, she's a lot like me.
So this is a great way to understand how we go through a sales process, how we go through about connecting with a client to schedule an appointment, and why personalities for business are huge when it comes to connecting with your clients.
Yep.
So,
Perfect.
Hey, I'm Mitch Taylor.
I'm Vickie Musni.
How do you pronounce it again?
Musni.
Musni. I'm going to work on that for next time.
Yeah.
Thanks for checking out.
Creating connections.
We'll see you next time. Cut. Say the name of the podcast. Thanks for checking out.
Creating
oh my
connections.
Goodness, holy hell. Cut. Thanks for checking out.
Creating connections. I hate you.
Cut.